Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this week's update, which is the Ninja Strike. We just had our 10th Ninja Strike, and personally, at least for me, this one was disappointingly small, I would say. I was really hoping there would be something regarding clues in this update maybe, or perhaps something akin to the Lunar Spellbook changes that they've been teasing, but we didn't really get any of that. This Ninja Strike week focused on the Crystal Chest, which was barely changed and doesn't really deserve to be in the update title at all, in my opinion. And the broadcast system was the other thing that they focused on, which some of the things they changed were actually really good. However, they're being very overshadowed by the one thing that they changed that was extremely stupid. And if I turn on my broadcasts here, you will likely see, yeah, for some stupid reason, they decided to make the 5, 10, and 15-year cape, veteran capes broadcast as global for the entire, game, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. Like, maybe the 15-year, but even then I think it's too much considering the game is almost 20 years old at this point, and it's not like those things actually mean anything in terms of achievement or anything like that, which is normally what you see from these global broadcasts like maxing or comping or something like that. But these are just, having an account that has existed for a certain amount of time. I don't understand what they were thinking with that. They were almost too much, honestly, just being a world broadcast, but now that they're a complete global broadcast, it's absolutely ridiculous, and the chat is just spammed with them constantly, pretty much, ever since this update came out. The other thing that was also increased to global is Master Quest Cape, though, which I think is deserving of it. And those were the only things that were changed with the global broadcasts. So yeah, I really don't understand why they would have had thought these things would be worth adding there, but it is the way it is. I'm hoping they're going to change it. I believe they are. People have been, the memes have been endless on Reddit, of course. So yeah, that's been really annoying. But some other notable things that were changed in the broadcast system, quite a few were actually removed. One of the ones that was kind of iconic in my opinion was the Draconic Visage. That was removed from broadcasts, so you will no longer be seeing people who do QPD getting those. Strangely, the Dragon Pickaxe was removed, which is I thought that was worth a lot. Maybe it's gone down in recent times, but they also have the Stat Hammer having been upgraded from a Clan and Friends only to a current world broadcast. So that's kind of a troll from Jagex. If you're out there in the wild doing revs and get a Stat Hammer, it's going to broadcast to your whole world. Maybe you want to have your private off when you're out there. So that's a bit crazy. There was a bunch of others that were actually removed as well. A lot of the glove drops that you get from various things were removed. And then there was a couple that were upgraded. All the greater codexes from ED2 were upgraded to world broadcast, which makes sense. The Anachronia Blast Diffusion boots, as well as all the pieces of the Pterosaur Maul were upgraded to world broadcast, as well as all the pieces of the Inquisitor staff and the Spear of Annihilation tip, which I think are reasonable. And actually the 50 mil and 150 mil XP milestone broadcasts were downgraded to be Friends and Clan only rather than current world. So yeah, there were a couple others in there that I didn't mention, but overall I think they were pretty much all good changes, honestly, in the end, aside from literally this one change that is just so overshadowing of all the others just because of how often it is just absolutely spammed in the chat. You really can't ignore it. So I have had my broadcasts off ever since that update, and I'll keep them off until they make this change because it is very annoying. But yeah, the other thing they have here was the Crystal Chest. They've basically just changed the Crystal Chest interface to be, I guess, in line with all the other interfaces in the game. I don't think there was actually an interface before this, as far as I can tell, but they say that they've upgraded the chest interface for crystal chests. So maybe there was an interface before, which I didn't know that. But yeah, they've made that up to modern, standards, but they've also added to many of the other chests in the game, like the loot chests. They've added the ability to take noted or take unnoted. If you want, you can actually toggle it, which was not available previously. I can quickly show it at Elite Dungeons is one of the places that has had that changed. It is it's a nice little thing, to be honest. I don't know what you would want it for, but yeah, have the little withdrawal by notes or not right down here. So I think that's pretty nice to have. Yeah, it's, probably wasn't too difficult to implement, I would hope. But yeah, that is the crystal chests, which was in the title of the update, strangely. And then the only other thing is Triskelion Keys, which they say that you can now combine as many keys as possible in one action. So I guess, there's 3 pieces of a key. You can probably make 9 keys at once in your inventory, but I personally have never really had a massive stock of key pieces. I usually make them as I get them, but that's just me. Maybe this will be useful to some people. And they've also changed a little bit of the loot on some of these things that was hidden away in the patch notes themselves. They also actually made it so you can toggle various broadcasts in the settings, which is under messages and social, and then they said broadcasts. Oh, why would they make each one of these a different? Oh, I see. Oh, you can actually customize it quite a lot. That's pretty interesting. But the main thing that's missing here that people have obviously called out on Reddit is the fact that there is no option to change the global broadcasts. So you can't disable these incredibly annoying spam cape ones. So they really need to add a section for that. It's honestly kind of annoying that these are 3 different sections in the settings. Like, it should just be a setting with broadcasts and then like a drop down within there where you could pick which ones you're editing, which I think would make more sense. But the settings menu is an absolute monstrosity as it is, so they can't really make it too much worse by adding a couple more things. So yeah, you can toggle pretty much each thing individually. I can't believe they didn't upgrade Gold Warden to be a global broadcast, to be honest. I really think that should have been upgraded personally. But yeah, that's nice at least. That's another nice little thing in the settings that you can mess around with. Let's see, were there any other things? Yeah, the things that I mentioned, Crystal Triskelion loot. They've had the Adamant and Coal Stone Spirits replaced with Banite, and the Rune and Coal Stone Spirits replaced with Light and Dark Animica. So a little bit of higher Stone Spirits that you can be upset about when you're opening your Crystal Triskelion Keys. They also actually did remove a bit of a bug with the Essence of Finality, which was allowing you to use special attacks that did not require a target out of combat and not use adrenaline, namely the Dragon Battle Axe special attack. You could lose your target and use the Dragon Battle Axe special attack, normally costing 100% adrenaline for free, which was pretty OP, to be honest, and I think it was definitely something they should fix, and they have done, so that is no longer possible. I know people were talking about that being removed at some point, and they were pretty quick with that, so I guess that's probably good rather than waiting a long time to actually make the change. Oh, this one actually I didn't notice, and it's nice to have. You're now able to use Surge and other movement abilities in the Virago, Nex, and Telos instance lobbies. That is very nice, especially the Virago one for Iron Man, because you have to hop over all the freaking rocks every time. And then for hard mode as well on main accounts, definitely a nice change there. And then a bunch of random fixes. I didn't think I saw any that were super impactful in here. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the patch notes and stuff this week, you guys. Again, kind of an underwhelming Ninja Strike in my opinion. I'm hoping to see a nicer one in the next one maybe. But one other thing I did want to bring up is the updates that they discussed in their stream last week. I was hoping to make a video about it last week, but I just never got the time to do it. And I do want to just go over these and my thoughts on them. So if you missed the stream last week, they did announce that God Wars 3 has been delayed until 2021 at some point, which I was kind of expecting. But what I was not expecting was the fact that we are actually going to be getting a new boss, like a standalone boss, before the end of the year as a replacement, kind of. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. They've said things like it's going to be solo and duo only, similar to Araxor, and on par on the difficulty as 100% Telos, which in my opinion isn't that hard, but obviously a lot of people do struggle with Telos, so that might be, I don't know how Jagex would consider Telos 100%. Like, is that really hard or not? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it for sure. Really looking forward to giving it a shot. We haven't had a new boss in quite a long time, so it'll be cool to see that coming out and what it drops. I'm guessing there will be something in it for Mage, because Mage is the weakest style at the moment. One thing that I would really like to have is something that makes your concentrated blast no longer be channeled, kind of like how Greater Fury works. I think that would be very nice because it is a bit of an annoyance at the moment, and it is the last remaining little annoying ability thing. But I could also see them doing something maybe with the deader, or not deader, don't think that's a word, but the more dead ultimates in the game, making them more usable in some way. Not sure how they would do that, but still, that is going to be cool. Really looking forward to that new boss release. Not sure when it's coming out, but before the end of the year is what they said. They also said we're going to be having a Halloween event at some point in October, so that's good. Also in October actually is going to be the new dig site for archaeology named Orthan. I was not expecting this new dig site until at least next year, so I was pretty surprised to see that coming out. I'm looking forward to it. I will of course make guides on any of the mysteries that the dig site might have, as I do love doing those mysteries, and I'll be sure to make guides on those as soon as possible. They also actually had quite a few things that are still to come this year, which was surprising. They also mentioned there's going to be a construction update this year, not a rework, but something similar to the size of safe cracking for thieving. They didn't mean that there's going to be a super AFK construction method, although that could be the case. It is just going to be a pretty small scale update and similar to the size of safe cracking for thieving, which wasn't that big, but was obviously a really good training method. And there's also going to be another new quest this year, apparently, which will not be as big as Desperate Measures, of course, but it's nice to see that they're committing to doing another quest. So hopefully all this stuff does actually come out. I mean, we're not, of course, they don't really have the greatest track record with these kinds of things, so we're not, of course, getting our hopes up too much. Also, something that I didn't know, but apparently was common knowledge already, was the fact that there is not going to be any RuneFest this year. I assumed that they weren't going to have an in-person one, but I was hoping there would be some sort of event held online. But apparently that's just not happening at all as far as I can tell, which is kind of disappointing, as I always love watching the RuneFest. Even though a lot of the things don't come out, it's still nice to talk about them and get hyped, just with the knowledge that it's probably not even going to happen, to be honest, the way they say them. But yeah. That's pretty much it. There were a bunch of other things discussed in that stream, but maybe I'll save that for a different video or just, talking points for the future, because I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Got a little information out of it that you might have not seen in either the stream or the patch notes. I am still working on getting some more footage for my Solok basing guide. I was hoping to get a bit of a more difficult rotation that I have been trying to learn in there as well, so might be a little while before that's out, but I am planning to make it. I've already written a bit of the script. I usually do a script for my more, in-depth guides, just so I make sure I mention everything I want to talk about. So that's the plan. Still working on that, and still working on a little something else on the side that I'll reveal in a little bit, and we'll probably be back on the hardcore before too long, making some more of that series as well. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.